Hi there, welcome along to another video for you to row along to. Slightly different today, we've got an alfresco. It's way too nice a day to be stuck in the studio rowing, so I've brought the rowing machine outside so you get to see the left-hand side of my face today. Anyway, let's crack on with the 4-minute warm-up. Set your drag factor, as I always say. Set the monitor so it's at eye height, you don't have to look up, don't have to look down, and set your foot straps so that the strap covers the bottom lace on your shoe, or so that if you're wearing socks like me, you can hinge forward comfortably at the front. Okay, so just going to do what we always do. We're going to do a 4-minute, 18 strokes, just nice gentle, or 18 strokes a minute, nice gentle warm up, okay? There we go. Feeling a little bit conspicuous today, as we and the family are all sitting out in the garden. Neighbours are on the other side of the fence, so if you wonder why I'm in hushed tones today, it's so that they can't hear me. And that's also why I skipped straight into the warm-up without describing today's session, so that we could at least have the rowing machine noise masking what I'm going to say. Going a bit fast in the warm-up, aren't we? 20 strokes a minute right now, so it's because it's so exciting and rare being outside in the sun. So today's session, 6 times 6 minutes with 1 minute rest in between. All done at 20 strokes a minute and 2k plus 18. So, very simple. If you're looking at a score out of 10 for effort, that means around about 6 out of 10 to start, and in order to hold the same pace to the end, you might be about 7 out of 10. So I still seem to be chugging along at 20 strokes a minute here. Yeah, probably a good idea, as that's the main session today anyway. Right, so in 5 seconds, take one of your feet out of the foot strap, okay? So last stroke, take a foot out, and then single leg row for a while. Just for 30 seconds, and then we'll swap legs. This is a good way to get a bit more compression at the front. Make sure and still drive with your leg though, and finish the stroke properly with your arms. Okay, one more stroke here. Let's swap feet. We'll do 30 seconds on this side. Much easier for me. Because I row in socks, I can just slip my feet in and out. Whereas if you've got shoes, they tend to get caught. Okay, 2 strokes here. One more. Both feet back in. Legs straight. Arms and body only. Okay. Just rock back to the hips. Pull in with the arms. Two more strokes like this, and we're going to do the opposite. So, straight arms, just the legs. Don't worry if you have a little bit of a back lean to soak up any power that you're not quite putting through to the handle. That's fine. 2 more strokes like this. Cool. Grab a drink, move up and down the rail, and I'll explain again what today's session is. Okay, so once again, today's session is going to be 6 times 6 minutes with 1 minute rest at 20 strokes per minute. And your pace is going to be 2k plus 18. And if you're working on an effort out of 10 value, that means around about 6 out of 10. But to hold that pace to the end, you'll probably end up around about 7 out of 10. Okay? As always, follow me for stroke rate. I'll try and get it right this time. And I'll try and keep you company for the whole row as well. Have one last quick drink. Maybe you get to stop every 6 minutes anyway. You can have a little drink, maybe continue moving up and down the rail at that point anyway. But you'll be all right. Okay, so let's get into interval 1, 6 minutes, 20 strokes per minute. Remember, the good thing about 20 strokes a minute is it's just 1 stroke every 3 seconds. So you just start counting down in 3s. Obviously when you're rowing on your own and not with me. And it keeps you right on the 20s. I think this is why I like 15 and 20 and 24 so much. Is that it's actually just a numerical value you're looking at on the monitor. So you should be comfortably at pace and rate by now. That says 1 minute gone into this one, so by now you should really be there. Ooh. It is rather warm today. It's really not like this in Scotland that often. Especially in April. Get the feeling I'm going to be slightly dehydrated through today's session. Let's just hope I don't get any visitations from bugs, wasps and stuff. Okay, 2 minutes gone. Have a little think about your technique. Should be nice and warm now, so you can really spend some time focusing on elements of your technique. I just pick one and focus on it for a while. So start off with your shins vertical at the front of the stroke. So as you get here, you imagine to get your shins vertical and without having to raise your heels off the foot plate by too much. Just have a think, focus on it. It can help if you video yourself once in a while. Come back and have a look, see what's going on. It's one of the reasons I make all these videos, to be honest. So I can come back and see what my stroke is like at different rates and depending on how tired I get. Alright, so your shins, hopefully you've had to think about by now. Let's focus on your arms and your hands for a while. First off, a nice relaxed grip on the handle. I prefer having thumbs underneath the handle rather than on top. And then tend to use my fingers like a hook almost, rather than a full-on grip. I'm not trying to choke the life out the handle. I'm just using it as a final contact point to put the power into the flywheel. And the thing about a nice relaxed grip is that promotes relaxed arms and relaxed shoulders, which is the perfect way to transfer the power from your legs into the handle and into the flywheel. So if you can drive out with a relaxed grip, relaxed arms, relaxed shoulders, and straight arms, you shouldn't have any energy leakage or power leakage into your stroke. Making sure to only bend your elbows towards the end. Boom, there, as you finish the stroke. So drive, bend. It's the amount of time that I drive for before I bend the elbows. 15 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the first interval done. Simple. Have a drink. Oh, always important, but especially important for me today. Is it so hot? You can tell it's already started to dehydrate me because heart rate was so high when I finished then. 138. It's crashing down now. 114, 113, 12. I don't know if I'll get under 100 before we start the next one. Yeah, 102, 1, 100. There you go. So 10 seconds to go. Get ready. Make sure and start your first stroke with me. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Interval 2. I don't know about you, but for me this is really peaceful and calm. Sun beating down on me. To see various bushes in the garden just swaying from side to side in the wind. And I'm waiting for one of the kids to run over and ask for an ice cream in a minute, but hopefully they can wait the time. Right, so 45 seconds-ish into this one. Hopefully you've found exactly the same pace and you're rowing in time with me. Today's session isn't one that will leave you on the ground afterwards. You'll feel like you've worked, don't get me wrong, but this is one of those engine building important foundation rows that will make you certainly have a heck of a sweat on, and you'll be out of breath, but you shouldn't be lying on the floor at the end of it in a puddle of tiredness. You should almost feel like you're energized and ready to do a 500 meter time trial or something. But that's the point. This row is about building and charging your system so that if tomorrow is a sprint day or a mid-level distance interval thing, you're ready for it. Because remember, you basically have those three types. You have foundation, mid-level and sprint. And you want to do kind of 2 or 3 foundation engine building rows a week, and then maybe 2 of the tougher interval, but not absolute 10 out of 10 effort stuff, maybe 8 or 9, and then 1 sprinty, time trial-y 10 out of 10 effort. And if you work on that progression pyramid, you will get fitter and faster and stronger. And let's face it, apart from maybe throwing in a little bit of weight loss, I think everybody just wants to be fitter, faster and stronger. And fat loss tends to come with that anyway, so this is kind of kin to like a 30-minute solid at 20 strokes per minute. So although we're taking rests, we're also doing 6 minutes more work anyway. Just going to makes up for it. So at the end of this one, you should probably feel about as tired as you do at the end of a solid half hour at 20 strokes per minute and 2k plus 18. Put it this way, the fact I'm rabbiting on at you constantly should show that this isn't too destructive a session. Compare it to the 1 minute on, 1 minute off sprint stuff where I hardly say a word to you during the work part of the interval. One minute to go. One more thing about technique. Make sure you're not yanking on the foot straps to pull yourself back up the rail. We go more into that in the next interval. But I want to bring it up now to explain that on the next one, I'm going to take my feet out of the straps. Mostly to just prove a point, but also helps my training. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Interval 2 down. I'm going to take my feet out of the straps. Have a quick drink. Cheers. Ooh. Continue moving up and down the rail just to not let your muscles completely cool down. Ooh. Bum's going a bit numb. Good tip here that Cassie Newman keeps on talking about lift your butt up. Just lift on your butt cheeks to reset how you're sitting on the seat. Makes a huge difference. It's worth hunting her out. She's the Row Strong on Facebook. Anyway. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get on to interval 3. Same pace, same stroke rate. Same boring chat from me about technique and things. If it wasn't for the location being different, I could just rerun all the old videos. Anyway, so at the end of the last interval, I was talking about not using the foot straps to pull yourself back up the rail, which is a real bad habit of a lot of people, let's face it. And there's so many reasons it's bad. First one is, a lot of the time, the rower that's doing that is wasting drive energy. So they go flying backwards, they've still got power. In order to stop themselves, they have to use like a flexed foot on the foot strap. And that was all power that could have gone into the handle and therefore into the flywheel. So it's bad from that point of view. It's also bad because by flexing your feet and pulling yourself up to the front, you're using muscles that you really don't need to, or at least muscle energy that you really don't need to, which will just make you more tired quicker. So that's two reasons. It also promotes kind of a poor body position, because you can get away with coming up to the catch with your body leaning the wrong way. So remember, what we want to do, hang on, gotta get this right because I'm the other way around today. So normally we talk about going from 1 o'clock at the front to 11 o'clock at the back, but of course, because I'm the other way around, that means 11 o'clock at the front, 1 o'clock at the back. Okay? But you get what I mean. Forward lean at the front into a backward lean at the back. Now, there's many reasons for that. Biggest one being the forward lean at the front is another key component to getting the power from your legs into the handle and into the flywheel. If you're leaning back as you drive with the legs, all that happens is your lower back takes it. It doesn't all go into the handle, and ultimately you end up with a lower back injury. Whereas the forward lean with a braced core lets that power transfer effortlessly from your legs into the handle. So, if you've pulled yourself forward with the foot straps and are able to get to the catch kind of in a backwards position like that, then all the problems I just mentioned will happen. So, by rowing without my feet in the straps, I have to use momentum and my core to stop me and get me back up the rail. So, by pushing the handle over my knees before I rock forwards, I create the momentum that when I bend my knees, I travel forwards, and I'm already in that forward lean position. And at the end of the stroke, I have to have the drive power all finished, because otherwise I'd fly off the back of the machine, wouldn't I? So it's all about finishing the leg drive just before you finish the pulling the handle in, and then bracing your core. 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't know if I totally skewed the stroke rate on that one. It'll be an interesting one to come back and look at. Anyway, so that's why rowing without your feet in the straps is a good thing. If you don't fancy the danger of not being in the straps at all, what you can do is loosen them so that they're kind of an arch above your foot, so that you're free and easy. But if you drive too hard and think you're going to fly off the back, you can quickly catch yourself. But it means you can get used to not flexing your feet in order to pull yourself to the front of the machine again. Anyway, we're at Bon Jovi time. Halfway there. 10, 9, 8, 3 down, 3 to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift off. So interval 4. I'm continuing just to do this strapless for the rest of the session, because I have so many things wrong with my stroke right now. And actually, rowing strapless is one way to iron out a lot of the problems I've got. It does mean I'm going slower than normal. Between talking to you and being strapless, I'm about 3 seconds slower than I would normally do this one at. But then I still maintain the cardio workout I get in controlling the breathing and things by talking to you while I'm rowing is doing me a lot of good. As is all this chatter about technique. Makes me think about what I'm doing, especially on a low rate session like this one. It is a useful one. It's actually a slight tweak to a session on this week's Fitness Matters training plan. Which I'm part of because that's who I row for, hence the t-shirt. 2 minutes done, but they had it programmed as 1500 meters times 6. But when I'm making these videos, you'll notice that all my sessions are time-based. That's so that we start and stop at the same time. Whereas you might be faster than me to cover 1500, so you'd be done and I'd still be rowing, and then you'd either have to rest longer than a minute to wait for me to start up again, or if you only rested a minute, you'd be completely out of sync with me. So basically just keeping it time-based means that we all start and stop at the same time. and then how any on-screen graphics relate to all of us and not just me. So anyway, I kind of for this session average about 1:58 to 2 minutes for 1500 anyway. So just thought, just change it to 6 minutes, which actually I'm doing about 1480 meters each 6 minutes anyway. So it's close. And if you're faster than me, it just means you get to row more distance than me. But it is a good, because the 1500, you're rowing 9,000 meters within that main session. So add on the 4-minute warm up and the cool down. This should add up to about 10,000 meters for the entire workout. And that's got to be good for you. As long as you're not pushing too hard and you're sticking to your pace. And you're adopting good technique practices. Ooh. Wow, my heart rate is up at 157. I did this workout on Tuesday. I don't think it ever broke 145. Just shows what working out in the heat of the sun does. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a big swig from me. Excuse me. Oh. Even the Scottish heat is enough to do that. It's only about 17 degrees today. Celsius, not Fahrenheit. It's definitely having an effect. But this way I'm happy there's only 2 more intervals to go. It's going to be a puddle. Let's hope I remember to dim the audio over these drinks. Yes, I've only recovered to, 130 by now. So body's certainly working harder out in the sun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So there's 2 more intervals to go, which is cool. I mean, this isn't the Fast and the Furious. It definitely is a slow burning workout. But its benefits will sit with you for longer. Like I'm trying to think. I was going to say a Citizen Kane, but that's a bit too film buffy. Say 3 billboards, Ebbing. That was one that was a slow burner and really stuck with you. Although to be fair, I am crying a lot less on the rowing machine right now than I was when I watched that film. Not usually a crier. Well, if it's sad enough I am. I'm not going to tell you why I was crying. Don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it yet. It's a good film. don't think I've cried during Fast and Furious. Although maybe the end of 7, the tribute to Paul Walker, maybe had a fly in my eye. Right, so we're almost 2 minutes done in this one, and you'll have noticed my current technique is to distract you with my particularly inane brand of chat. As you've just passed the 4-minute mark, that means you've only got 10 minutes of rowing left. It's only 200 strokes. You can manage that, can't you? Hold the same pace. Don't back off. Don't slow down from where you started. And certainly don't speed up. It's not that kind of session. You're not Vin Diesel or The Rock. You're taking it easy. Three minutes to go. Don't be too alarmed if you hear screaming. Just the kids on the trampoline. There's nothing sinister going on. So, hopefully, you are setting yourself some kind of structure to how your training is going. You're not just doing the 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off row every day and just doing the speed stuff. You're at least throwing in a few sessions like this. Ooh. 2 minutes to go. As much as it's hot, I'm definitely working harder. I like doing these outside. Hopefully we'll have a good summer ahead of us. I can do more of these. Heck of a lot easier to film as well. Don't have to worry about lighting and setting up equipment. I can just stick my phone on a tripod, connect the microphone, and I'm off. I think I feel my forehead burning. I should probably have done this with my back to the sun. But we get sun like this so rarely in Scotland that I want to try and get some vitamin D from the sun into me. Oh, there. Not my dog, someone else's dog. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Last rest interval. Then we've got one more active interval to go. Hearing the dog barking and kids screaming things. That's the downside to going al fresco and filming these out here. There you go. So one more interval, 6 minutes. It's only 120 strokes. And count down in tens, count up in 30, back down in 30. Or you can just, still feet out, you can just listen to me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Kids are getting restless now. Let's see if we can make it through this entire video without one of them popping up. Quite surprised they haven't come over and asked for anything to eat yet. Or an ice cream, or... I could go an ice cream right now. Right, so we're 30 seconds into this one. Like I always say, hopefully by now you'll have got your rhythm rowing with me and your pace right. Remember, your rhythm for 20 strokes a minute is effectively 1 second drive, 2 seconds recover. Okay? It's kind of the same up to about 24 strokes a minute for me. But I tend to work on a 1 to 2 ratio. It's a drive for 1, return for 2. Even if I'm down at 18 or up at 22, 24, it tends to be a 1-2 ratio. If you get down to 15 strokes, it tends to be 1 to 3. But then the lower the rate you go, the more the flywheel is slowed down before you take the next stroke. So the more power it takes to get the flywheel back up to speed again. So it's good on a 15 stroke to drive for 1 second and recover for 3. So you can still explode out of the front and use 3 seconds for your muscles to recharge for the next stroke. And then when you start getting up to 28, 30 strokes a minute and higher, you get closer to a 1-to-1 ratio where your drive and recovery is pretty much the same. And that's why we tend to go anaerobic a lot quicker at those rates as you do for 20, 18 and 15 and stuff. Two and a half minutes to go, just 50 strokes. Don't ease up, don't let your technique wobble in the pursuit for pace. If your technique holds up, you should just be able to generate the pace by concentrating and making sure to drive out with your legs. Keep that forward lean for as long as possible. Rock through the hips for a backswing to then finish with your arms. Then hands over knees before your knees bend. and you're set. A good tip, although albeit with only a minute and a half to go, you may have to remember this one for your next session, is whatever pace you pull the handle in at, release it at the same speed. So in, out, in, out, in, out. It just gives you something to focus on to make sure you're getting the handle away over your knees before your knees bend. And it helps with your body rock forwards by throwing the handle away from you. Now whether you tap down and lower it is entirely up to you. It's very much an on-the-water thing because you're getting the handle out of the water. Some people prefer a very straight line back and forwards. I have a little dip and a little rise at the front. Not that I row in the water, just habit. Here we go then. So 3, 2, and 1. C'est fini. Just let me reset the monitor. And we'll go to just row for our cool down. Uh-oh, child down. It's not good when you see one of your kids just lying on the ground and the other one holding a plastic sword over her. Oh no, she's limping, she's limping. Anyway, I hope that was a good workout for you. Certainly was for me. I'm worried that a football from across the fence is about to come flying over in a minute. So just let your muscles ease down after that session. It wasn't the toughest in the world, but you still want to just let everything kind of glide into, just slide into neutral, not glide. Let's just slide into a stop. So your body should be nice and eased. You shouldn't be stiff. And maybe if you add in a little bit of stretching as well, that'll help. Stretch off your hamstrings, most importantly. Maybe your lower back, shoulders. Make sure and hydrate as well. I'm going to go and drink a lot of water. And actually, I must confess, on a day like this, that'll quite soon swap over to beer. Not too much though. We're all athletes here. Anyway, so if you want to know more about me, head to pdprowing.com, which basically explains what this YouTube channel, why it's here, what I do. Or go to indoorrowinginfo.com, which is a website all about indoor rowing. Information, strangely, about teams, competitions, training and things. And you can check out the FM training plan on Facebook. Just search for Fitness Matters Indoor Rowing Plan. They do a 4-week starter one, so just look for the starter plan. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed today's row. Today's hashtag, just to prove you got to the end, if you're going to complain about it, is alfresco. Why not, eh? So thanks again for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe and keep on keeping on. All right, bye-bye.
Are you actually done now?
Yes, I'm actually done now. I can come play with you. Yes, you could do lightsaber fights.